What's up? It's your girl AB, and today we're going to talk about parent emotions and the unmet need that leads to them. Because last week we talked about the parent emotions.
My name is Boone. I had my first child at 14 years old. I had my second child at 17 years old, and I spent a majority of my early adult life looking at everyone else, and I always felt defeated, and I was always sad, and I was always struggling. And then one day I decided, fuck it, stop looking to others for confirmation and compete only with yourself. Keep showing up, keep posting, even when it's hard, even when you feel like nobody's listening, nobody's watching. You need that right one to see your content, and it could change your life. I love to inspire people and let them know that you can achieve your dreams no matter where they started.
Love, fear, anger, sadness, joy, surprise. So when you feel fear, it's usually because there's an unmet need. Typically, the unmet need is safety, right? Security, stability, predictability. All of these things, when they feel like they are unmet, we begin to fear. Fear for our safety, fear for what's going to happen next, fear for the sake of our stability. Now, when do we get angry? Typically, when we get angry, it's because we have an unmet need of what? Being respected. Somebody disrespects us, we're going to get angry. If someone challenges our authority, it's going to make us angry. If we feel like something is happening that is unfair or unjust, that need is not being met, of fairness, justice is not being met, and therefore we are angry. Another unmet need that leads to anger is just being heard. It is infuriating to not be heard. You have something valuable to say, something important, and you're not being heard, makes us angry. The parent emotion of sadness houses the unmet needs of love, support, belonging, connection. It makes us sad when somebody that we love doesn't reciprocate that feeling. It makes us sad when we feel like we're not getting the support that we should for whatever it is that we need in our life, in our professional endeavors. If somebody's not supporting us, it makes us sad. You know, think back to being a kid. If you were ever in a situation where there were people playing and you weren't invited or you were left out, that sense of not belonging, not having anywhere to belong to makes us very sad. And like we talked about last week, sometimes the one emotion can lead to another, so it makes you sad. But if you don't know how to identify and express that, you end up what? Angry. Instead of being sad, because that's often viewed as a weakness, we end up being mad instead. When you think about an event that made you sad, think about it like this. When this happened, or when I revisit this event that happened, what I was actually feeling was blank, sadness maybe, because I was actually seeking support, because I was actually seeking love. When I revisit this event and I realized that I was scared, I was anxious, I had fear, because I didn't feel like there was any stability, any predictability, right? Okay, so let's talk about some of the happy parent feelings and the needs that are being met that leads to those feelings. So for joy, we might feel eager or enchanted. We might be amused or delighted. We could be jubilant or excited or jovial or even blissful. These are all feelings that ultimately are housed under the feeling of joy. And those are typically brought on because we have needs that are being met. We feel supported. We feel loved. We feel stability. The parent feeling of love might be brought on by feeling romantic. It might be brought on by feeling affectionate. Could be attracted, sentimental. Could be relieved. Could be caring. We have needs that are being met that we feel cared for, and therefore we feel love. Many years ago, when I was married, I was trying desperately to save my marriage. And we went to a ton of different marriage counselors. We had a ton of different books that we read. And ultimately, we ended up in this marriage retreat, which taught us about the love bank, which is a concept that I absolutely love. The love bank is essentially, think of it as a real bank. You make deposits into your bank, right? You deposit money. The more money that you deposit, the more money that you have to spend. Great. What happens if you spend more money than you have in the bank? Well, you're in debt. You have a deficit. And as long as you have a deficit, you're stressed out, you're not happy, you're not able to spend, right? A love bank is essentially a similar concept, whereas two people have love banks and they deposit and withdraw constantly. They're constantly depositing and withdrawing good feelings and bad feelings. So if I'm pouring into you, I'm loving you, I'm making all of these deposits. And the more deposits I make, essentially, the more that your bank is full, the more that your cup is full, and the more that you have to deposit back into me. Perfect. However, if I'm withdrawing, if I'm taking from you, if I'm pulling everything you got, all of your support, all of your love, all of your everything, and I'm not making any deposits, I am in debt. I am indebted to you. I am not providing enough value to take. You've got nothing to give. And from that concept of a love bank, I developed the idea to always outlove people. If I'm in a relationship, I want to outlove you. It's so easy when you're in a relationship to out-hurt the other person. You get into an argument, they say something hurtful, you want to say something more hurtful. You get into an argument with somebody and they do something petty, oh, you want to one-up it and show them how much more petty you can be. It is so easy, and I've been there in the past where I'm like, oh, bet, that's how you want to play? I got you. I can do better. But really, it's worse. Really, I'm doing worse. And really, all we're doing is losing respect for one another. And once you lose that respect in a relationship, it's really difficult, if not impossible, to get it back. The relationship will never be the same. So I challenge you in your relationships, instead of trying to out-hurt one another, deposit as much as you can into that love bank and try to outlove each other. If somebody loves you, they make you feel good, they make a deposit into your love bank, say, bet, I got you, and outdo them. One up them, love them harder, love them stronger, love them better. Continue to try to outlove each other until you've built this millionaire bank account where there's no room for debts and deficits. You got to realize that emotions are not interruptions to your life. And I know sometimes it feels that way. I don't have time to be sad. I don't have time to be mad. But they're not interruptions. They're a language. When we listen to how we're feeling instead of resist, our emotions become guides to our life. They can point us towards healing and towards growth and ultimately to a deeper truth. It's as if every emotion carries an intelligence that we can use to our benefit. When we honor our emotions rather than suppress them, we can use them as tools. They can teach us how to move, when to pause, and ultimately who we're becoming. Lean into your emotions. Pause and feel them. And let them guide you. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe and come back for more. See you next week.